Whose idea was it to make the armor like this? Look at look at this guy and look at this guy. This guy looks like he can hardly move with these huge shoulder pads and absolutely nothing on his arm. And this guy, he looks well protected. He's fine. This guy is fine. So I just wanted to talk about Destiny 2. I just wanted to give a nice little critique to my favorite class in the game Destiny, but also the one that I hate the most because Bungie fucked it up. Whenever Destiny 2 first came out, I was excited because the game looked great, even though it wasn't. I figured that out the hard way. But I also was hesitant at the same time because the design seems to have shifted. It's kind of like it looked too clean, I guess. I mean, I get that the time that the game starts in, everything's fine. There's absolutely not a problem. The last city of man is safe, and the last bad guy I had to fight was dead people, I guess. I mean, so far that's the closest thing to a villain that we've had. And the last bad guy I had to fight completely destroyed anticlimactically. This video is not really a critique of the game as much as it is just a critique of a particular portion of the game, because I have not played this game in ages, but I can say there has been one thing that has stayed consistent, and that is how ugly the Titan armor has been. Whatever is cool and makes sense about the tankiness and just the full protection feeling that you get from seeing the Titan is completely negated, because apparently nobody wants to protect the arms and nobody cares about if you break your neck while you're moving around. The Titans in Destiny 1, they had a very sleek but sturdy design. You can tell what they were. Sure, they had a little bit of the Halo Spartan look to them, but isn't that to be expected? They're supposed to be the futuristic equivalent of a knight, the in-between of a space marine and a Spartan, I guess. And you want them to be intimidating, and in Destiny 1, they were pretty intimidating. They were my favorite class. They were the only class that I played as, because I just couldn't find myself liking the rest of them, because I'm an aesthetic person, and if the aesthetics of something really don't pique my interest, I don't touch it. I just, yeah, it exists, and maybe if people really want me to, I'll use it, but I don't. I won't use it on recreation. But I loved playing as the Titan. I used to love drawing Titans. I used to the Titan. Whenever Destiny 1 first was announced, the Titan was the thing that caught my eye. It was just really knightly looking, and I wish that that particular armor was in the game. But with what we've had, including the Iron Banner armor, which is one of my favorites, and I spent hundreds of hours grinding for, hundreds of hours wasted of my life. But I got it! I got the full set, guys! And Destiny 2 is announced. I'm sitting with my friends. I'm enjoying the announcement at E3, and I'm like, or was it at E3? I'm pretty sure it was at E3. I don't know. I don't remember. I'm just enjoying myself, and all of a sudden, I get an epiphany. They suddenly have. I get an epiphany where it finally comes to me where their design philosophy has changed quite a bit. Instead of being a sturdy looking build, it just looks bulky. It just looks very uncomfortable to move around in. I get it's fantasy, it's a video game, but it's not like they are genetically modified space marines or anything. These are normal people, or robots, or space blue elves, or what have you. They're just supercharged with some fucking space magic by a giant floating volleyball in the sky. They're not genetically enhanced. They're just strong. They, I get they're probably buff under that armor, but I don't really buy that moving around in this is particularly comfortable. This is just what I think. I haven't played this game in like 4 years, How long has this game been out? 3 years? I have not played this game in a very long time, but I can at least gladly say that I've been keeping up with it. And boy, I haven't really been missing much. The War Mind was shit. It was. And I didn't even have to play it to tell you that. The waifu bait that they threw in the trailer, the inclusion of the Hive in anything, probably the most saturated race in the entire lore, in the entire game of Destiny, and the one that they seem to pour their writing talent, which is really hit or miss. The Bungie team writing talent isn't like Halo 3 days anymore. Well, that's probably because it's mostly not them anymore, but I just hate the Hive. They're not fun to play against, or thematically there's something so incredibly unique. They're not undead thematic. They even though the game will try to force that idea on top of you. The developers will keep on telling you that they're space zombies, and for a while I was going for that, but no, it's something completely different. It's just ugly and depressing. I don't. I played I play games to have fun, to just mess around with my friends and enjoy enjoy myself after a long day of work. I don't want to be depressed. And how does the Hive aesthetic relate to the Titan aesthetic? Well, it just boils down to Bungie is shit at choosing aesthetic because they have all this style over there with the Cabal and the Vex and the Fallen especially. They have all this unique looking stuff over there, which is good unique. And the Warlock and the Hunters and so on. But then we get the Titans and the Hive. Oh, but Jake, why should an aesthetic of a game ruin it for you? Isn't it just to play and have fun? Yes. And by all means, if you can get past how ugly certain elements of the game are, more power to you. My problem just stems from they're trying to force ideas onto you on what this should be. And while at first you kind of get the idea, then you take a long look at it, or at least I took a long look at it, and I just see how they just fucked it up because the Titans are supposed to be knights. Okay? A knight having a shoulder pad that big would be such an incredible hindrance on their mobility. The Titan doing the ground slam, its shoulder pads clip through the model if you take a look at it, because the shoulder pads are so huge. Realistically, it doesn't move that way, and I get it, it's a video game, but there's like barely any armor in Destiny 2 that will at least accompany the bulky look with the arms. Boy, do I hate it. I really don't know what to say. It's just so. Warhammer Space Marines have more realistic armor than the Titans in Destiny do. Like the pose that this Titan has right here for the Forsaken, for this dude on YouTube, his shoulder pads are clipping through the chest piece. And I'm just. What is it? Is this supposed to Is it supposed to do that? I don't know. I mean, it's in the game, so I guess it makes sense. If they were trying to go for a Space Marine look, I guess someone was a big 40K fan in the development department of their designs, and he's like, huge shoulder pads rock, and we're going to put them on this normal looking person. But I digress. Yeah, Destiny 1 armor, it at least had like a build up to it. There were some big shoulder pads, but at the very least, they had a nice vam braces, I think they're called. The arms had a bit of armor to go along with it. And the chest plate was designed so it wouldn't look so stupid and clip through the armor. I just don't know what to say. I mean, I guess I've said everything that I wanted to say. Just make them smaller. For the love of God, make them smaller. Why? Why is it so hard? Look at this. Look at this. It looks so. Why are they poking out like this? Somebody can just get up on top and stab you right in the shoulder. This is so ugly. This is so ugly. How are you supposed to move your arms with this? It doesn't make any sense. It looks pretty, but it's also ugly. Even the toys don't know what to do. Look at this thing. How are you supposed to hold your arms? They're just so massive. How are you supposed to move your arm? See, oh, here, normal armor. I found one. Astounding. I found one pair of shoulders that doesn't look like shit and actually look like that they do something.